Sorry, quick message before we begin. I have an Instagram page where I'm posting some exclusive content, and if I was you, I'd probably check it out. Alright, enjoy the video. Even though G2 may be out of the major, way too early, before the major they had the second highest win rate on the CT side of Vertigo, just being under Furia. Solo defending the B bomb site is JackZ with some excellent ideas on how to hold it, and how to counter some of those cheeky boosts and lurks. Heya I'm Smirky, and today I want to look at JackZ and how he solo holds the B bomb site, so let's begin. Let me show you what JackZ does at the start of the round. Usually JackZ will come over towards stairs and throw a Molotov with a HE. To do the Molotov, he's going to aim towards his wood and left click throw. For the HE, he doesn't have a specific lineup, but in this round he's going to go behind double and left click throw. And this HE will bounce down, damaging anyone underneath the stairs. Usually as a T, when you're defaulting towards B, you're going to throw a smoke towards the entrance to deny the typical Molotov. And this will also allow the Ts to have a one-way. But by doing this Molotov instead, it denies your Molotov from being countered, and if they were to rush a ramp, they'll have to run through the Molotov, and if they were to put it out, it's going to deny their vision for sight. And if they try to go through their smoke and try to get underneath stairs, they're going to be taking some HE damage. So it's not a nice place to be at. In this round we're going to see something similar where JackZ will Molotov the stairs, he'll combine this with a loosey-goosey HE, jump on top of the wood and watch the smoke. This is the typical smoke that a T would throw, and you can see from here if they try to run through it, they're going to be taking damage through the Molotov, and if they try to run out through any other directions, JackZ is watching with his AK, ready to spray him down as they run through. Now what I mean by throwing the normal Molotov is this. In this round JackZ is going to come over towards the stairs, and he's going to try to jump and left click throw this molly towards the entrance. However, we see in this round Astralis is throwing the default smoke, and when this lands, it's going to nullify JackZ's Molotov, making him waste his utility. So personally, I wouldn't do this Molotov, and I'd highly recommend doing the stairs one. It's worth noting as well, you don't always have to throw your HE towards underneath stairs. Instead, you could do something like this, where JackZ will do his default Molotov, look over the smoke, and will eventually throw the nade behind the smoke, and if he's lucky, he might be able to scrape off 10 HP off the Ts, which makes it really effective for CT weaponry. Another HE is this one you could do right here. JackZ is going to do his default Molotov, go towards white, and will try to throw this HE. I'm not too sure if he was meaning for it to go underneath the stairs, but if you want the HE to go through the smoke, you can do this lineup. If you come over towards the rafters, put your crosshair anywhere towards this line, and left and right click throw. And if you do only have a Molotov, don't worry, you can just throw your default stairs Molotov and then fall back. And at times JackZ might not have any utility, so in this case he's just going to position himself towards the bomb site, ready for a push. Now let's have a look at his positioning. Commonly JackZ will play towards a position for the majority of the round. Let's start off with white. In this round JackZ is going to come over, he's going to sit behind white and place his crosshair like this. From here he can catch any Ts trying to boost towards wood, and if the Ts were to push up through stairs, he can also catch them. And from this position, you can look underneath the rafters to see if anyone's peeking underneath the stairs. But in a second JackZ is going to position himself into an angle I haven't seen before. He's going to sit on top of the rafters looking deep towards stairs. Now if I was a T, I would certainly not be clearing this angle. Now if you do need to put a defensive smoke down, you can use something like this. In this round the time's getting low, around 30 seconds, and it's possible Astralis is faking A. So JackZ is going to do the smoke. This smoke can be really good as it can be used as a wall, but it is worth noting the smoke doesn't cover the entrance fully. But once he's thrown the smoke, he's going to try and get some quick information by jumping on top of double, peeking down towards the stairs, and later rotating to A. If you do want to throw the smoke the best way possible, you can try to aim towards this yellow mark and run and right click. And if you're lucky, you should get something like this, where it's really difficult for the Ts to come through, but it is worth noting you do want to be careful with it, as it can be used as a one-way. Now there's other rounds where JackZ will play on top of the site. This is probably one of JackZ's favourite angles to play, as he's constantly moving, he can catch anyone trying to peek from underneath the stairs, and he can prevent any lurks. But you do need to be careful as a T could boost towards wood. In this round we're going to see something similar. JackZ is going to be on the top of the site, juggling towards these sandbags, but due to unfortunate timing, JackZ almost catches Zipex, but he goes to rotate away. From Zipex's POV, he was going to come over towards these sandbags, and he just spotted JackZ as he went away. Now, there's other times where JackZ will play towards double, and from this position, you're mainly looking towards wood. This will prevent the T's from pushing up, however you can get lurked on from stairs if you're not careful. But in this round the T's are executing onto the B bomb site, so as a result JackZ is aware and will put down a defensive smoke. This smoke is actually going to be really good as it will create a wall and will allow him to have a bit of cover from stairs while he watches towards window. But in a second he's going to get overwhelmed and he will die with only one kill. With the smoke down, it can allow him to go towards white, it can allow him to go into the boost if he was safe on mid, or he could just stay behind the smoke watching for any T's wanting to go behind white or around the smoke. And lastly, if he wanted to, he could try to use the smoke to reposition, but that is quite risky. In this round we're going to see another example of him playing towards wood. The T's are going to try to Molotov him out, so he's going to put down a smoke to allow him to stay in position. And this will also prevent him from being forced out into the open where a T could be watching him. JackZ is going to stay in this position for a very long time. LAKEY will come over to help him and give him an extra smoke. From here, JackZ will reposition towards white. Now the last position I want to show you is rafters. This position can be quite useful if you want to play a bit more safe or be ready to rotate. From here JackZ can be ready to catch any T's wanting to do the boost underneath the stairs. And he can also catch T's lurking out from stairs. However, it is still worth noting the T's could sneak up towards wood. And it's worth noting with all these different positions on the B bomb site, you're going to be pretty much taking a risk for every position you're playing. In this round, JackZ is going to play a similar angle. He's going to be spamming A and D to make sure he's ready just in case if they did come. But in a second he's going to throw a flashbang, and this is probably just to bait out any sound cues from the T's. But he did miss the flash in this round. Now let me show you what JackZ will do with his smoke when it's not an execute. After watching JackZ's demo, it looks like he tries to throw his smoke when he feels like it's going to be an execute or maybe around the 1 minute mark. In this round the clock's coming down, it's been a bit quiet, so he's going to decide to throw his smoke. This smoke towards the stairs will deny vision from the T's and make it difficult to push through. And in a second he's going to combine this with a flashbang. He's probably just doing this to keep them honest and to see if he can bait out any sound cues. But this can be a bit of a waste of a flashbang. In this round we're going to see something similar where it's going to be around the 1 minute mark, and you can see he's going to pull out his smoke and smoke off stairs. Now originally I thought this was because of the mid push, but when looking closely, I can see JackZ did pull out his smoke before the T's decided to push. But in general, if you're not using your smoke for executes, you probably want to use your smoke to smoke off stairs if it has been pretty quiet, i.e. no ramp control from the T's, or it's maybe around the 1 minute mark. Now lastly, JackZ can smoke off stairs if there's a bit of a hole in mid. In this round LAKEY B is going to rotate over towards the A bomb site, and because LAKEY B rotated, there's no one holding mid. So as a response, JackZ is going to go next to these D4 boxes, aim towards here, and crouch jump throw. And this is actually a pretty good smoke, as it lands deep towards the stairs, not allowing the T's any room to push forward behind the smoke, and will also grey screen them if they're trying to use that little jump towards the sandbags. And from here, JackZ can keep an eye towards window, while playing towards the back of the site. Now JackZ isn't always alone towards the bomb site. On some rounds, he might have a friend with him. Let's have a look at those rounds. In this round, JackZ and Monitor are heading towards stairs. Monitor is going to be scoping towards the angle. Meanwhile, JackZ will do his default utility. These pieces of utility may think that it's just another default and may not expect Monitor to be holding the angle. But in a second, JackZ will try to nade through the entrance, but does miss it. He just needed to aim a little bit down. But again, with all this utility, Zipex will think it's just a default, and Monitor will get the free opening. From Zipex's POV, he can't tell that Monitor is scoped in, so when he goes to throw the flashbang and peek, he gets caught off by surprise. Now in this round we're going to see the exact same thing. Monitor will be scoped into the angle, JackZ will throw his default utility, but they'll be forced off the angle. But they're actually going to stay together as a pair, as later in this round, JackZ will be towards quad hiding, meanwhile Monitor will be looking deep down towards stairs. If it was an execute, they'll be trying to rush down Monitor, and JackZ can swing out. In this round, JackZ is towards the side, and LAKEY will come over. JackZ will give him a flashbang, and later in the round it's going to be really useful, as JackZ is playing towards white, and soon Astralis are going to execute onto the B bomb site. JackZ is going to hear the footsteps of Astralis nearby, so he's going to try and reposition to make sure he doesn't get caught off. The flash will come in from LAKEY, and from here JackZ will just try to frag out. It is worth noting as well, if you get a minimum of 2 kills and manage to delay him just for a few seconds, you have done your job as a B player. In this round we're going to see something similar, where LAKEY is going to be hiding behind white, Astralis are going to execute onto the B bomb site, so JackZ will flash up high, LAKEY will try to peek off this, he doesn't get the kill onto Glaive, and well, LAKEY will die and soon will JackZ. After watching JackZ's demo, I've noticed he's quite passive. He doesn't play too aggressively towards the B bomb site and sits in positions to catch lurks and boosts. He's stationary. It's common for him to sit in the same position for the majority of the round, and he might change his position once during it. And lastly, he's quite defensive. At the start of every round, he will commonly throw the best utility to start rushes, as well as smokes to use as a wall during an execute. Apart from that, if you have any pros or positions you want me to break down next, feel free to put in the comments below and I'll have a look. Perhaps you're getting annoyed by those constant long smokes on Inferno. Well, I made a Twitter special about the different boosts you can do. You can check that video in the link in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching, see you in a bit.